welcome back to Cocktails and Classics. I'm Dylan. Joining me, as always, is Ben. And this week, we're kind of starting a new idea. We were kind of talking about it. We're making it easier for our movie selection, but also kind of doing something cool where we were kind of thinking about doing like two movies from the same director, to kind of like see their filmography and the
Or at
directions they
least
go.
just two movies that are connected.
Yeah.
You know what? It's summertime. You know what that means? Drive-in movies, double features.
Hey.
Boom.
And you know what?
I don't. There's a reason I work in marketing. I'm not good at it, but every once in a while.
I feel like that's most jobs, you know. You're like middling at it, but then you have that hit every once in a while, and they're like, "Damn, this guy's really good at his job." And you're like, "That's right." It's
You would.
it's
think
not
that.
the times I fucked up, but
I'm like Don Draper if Mad Men showed all of the shitty ideas in between.
but so this week we're taking a look at we've done Halloween, we've done The Thing, have we done another John Carpenter movie, or am I crazy? I think that's it.
I'd have to look at his filmography and see if there was something else that we've.
I think that's all that we've done on the podcast, but this week we're going to take a look at John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China from 1986, which I had seen a long time ago because John Carpenter is like one of my favorites. So I love to like watch some of his movies, and I tried to go through like his filmography. Kind of the reason I actually got into movies myself. I watched this like documentary on making horror films, and John Carpenter was in there, and like just the way he talked about movies and like how like culturally the horror film is like this throwback to the ancient, like sitting around a campfire and telling like scary stories and like this fear of what's outside of the campfire light and stuff. And so that like really like kind of sold me. I'm like, I've always watched movies with my dad, and it was always this thing where I like loved to do it and enjoyed watching movies with my dad, and like, why don't I just make them, you know? So that was kind of like my tipping point, and like The Thing had always been one of my favorites, and same with Halloween. So I'd watched this and I totally forgot about it. I thought this was more of like a Snake Plissken Escape from New York type character. And we can get into it when we get into more of the movie, but was definitely not what I remembered about the movie. Had you seen this, Ben?
I had this movie on DVD as like a kid. I remember watching this movie and loving it when I was like 10-ish, being like, this is awesome. And then I was rewatching it and I'm like, I don't remember any of this at all. Like, there were a couple like key things I remembered, and I was like, oh, I really did not understand this as a kid whatsoever.
Even just like, I mean, so I watched it in parts, having a kid, being old and tired. So I watched like part of it, and then I was like, oh, I'm going to go downstairs and watch it. And I ended up not doing that. And then I watched a little bit more, and then I watched the rest of it. And so then after watching the rest of it, finishing the movie, I then went back and watched like the first 30 minutes, like in bulk again. And I definitely like missed parts, I guess, because one of the things that I was just like watching the whole movie is that is it Jack Burton? Yeah, Jack Burton.
Yeah.
He's like this, you know, they start the movie and Kurt Russell's character Jack Burton is like kind of heralded as like the savior, and like that he's this hero by Egg, and that he's like, oh, don't leave him alone. We are indebted to him, and you're like, oh, okay, Jack Burton like helps save the day. And then like as the movie goes along, you're like, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this guy's a total fuck up.
He's a bumbling idiot, and like anytime something happens, he's either like knocked out or like thrown to the side. He can't do anything. He's bending over trying to pick up his gun or whatever. And then at the end, like he does like do the thing and save the day, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? But then he says the line like it's all in the reflexes or whatever, and like having I guess not paid attention or just forgot about it in the watching and the viewing and rewatching that first 30 minutes, and he says it on the Pork Chop Express over the radio, and then says it.
Yeah. He says it when he catches the bottle.
Yeah, when Wang tries to like knife the bottle, and he's like, it's all in the reflexes, and I'm like, okay, all right. It was just, it was in the 15 minutes of the movie I watched like 3 days ago, and I totally forgot about that part at that point. But Big Trouble in Little China is the 1986 martial arts slapstick action adventure comedy, written by Gary Goldman, David Z. Weinstein, and I think it's adapted by W.D. Richter. If I got that out of order, I apologize now.
Yeah, I think Richter maybe did like the updates to it or rewrites.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Gary Goldman and David Z. Weinstein were first-time screenwriters, and it was envisioned as a Western set in the 1880s, and then W.D. Richter was hired to rewrite the script and modernize it.
Yeah.
And so then John Carpenter was kind of like bouncing around between like low budget and like bigger stuff, and it kind of just ended up in his lap, and it didn't do that well when it released.
No, and I think the only reason he did it was just because he had always wanted to direct like a martial arts film.
Yeah.
And then it was very like rushed.
Yeah,
they
I mean it's
rushed everything, and it kind of this is the movie that led John Carpenter to leave mainstream and go back to do more indie stuff.
Basically, and I feel bad because I feel like it's not a bad movie.
It's a cult classic.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, and I feel bad that like, and that we kind of talked about this. I think last week, was it a week before last, where it was like, directors nowadays, like sometimes you only get one shot, and it's like, why? Like, just let the thing fester for a little bit and see. I mean, now I think that cult status happens a lot quicker. I think like, I think of
the
like
direct to streaming and video market has definitely made it, it's not like it was with like, Shawshank, where it was just the fact that it was always on TV that people found it. Whereas now it's like, it goes to how many movies that just,
go by the wayside. And
well, not just that, but like how many movies are ones that like, in college would be just movies on Netflix or something that all of a sudden you'd be on campus and it's like everyone's talking about this thing. It's not really that good, but it's all of a sudden pulled this
like a cultural status that somebody like, you have to watch it now because I don't know. To me, I was thinking about like, we did it on the podcast, but I worked on it. But like Dinner in America, where it was like that movie. I want to say we made it in like 2018, I think, and it went to Sundance in like 2019 or 2020. We did the premiere in Michigan in 2020, and it was going to be like this bigger thing, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And it ended up going on Hulu, and it just kind of fell by the wayside.
Well, at first when we did it for the podcast, we had to...
Didn't we watch it on like a British streaming
Sorry, everybody. Yeah, we all had to use a VPN and stream it through like a British streaming channel because it wasn't released anywhere in the US. Yeah. Now I see clips of it all over freaking... It's like
on
YouTube,
TikTok.
It pops up all
TikTok,
over the place.
Like, that's the thing, is it blew up as this like cultural like cult thing on like TikTok and Instagram Reels. And like, I was on Reddit the other day on like movies that feel like, I think was the subreddit, and it's like people like post images and shit, and it was like, I forget what the first one was, but maybe it was like Ghost World, and people were like Dinner in America and blah blah, and I was like, oh, what? People are recommending this movie I worked on like 8 years ago? That's crazy. Like
Every time I see it and I'm like, you guys are so late. We did that on a podcast 7 years ago. You losers.
That was like season 2. What are you guys doing? No,
Yeah, come on now.
but yeah, it's so funny to like. That's even something like I worked on that was one of those like just ends up being like a cult classic or like a cultural thing where it's like, did I think that was going to be a thing when I worked on it? Like, I felt you could kind of feel it in the air where it was like, yeah, this is going to be pretty good. But I think now it happens faster than like then where it was like, well, it's got to get to a video store and then people got to start watching it or it's got to get on TV or something, and I think that not necessarily like I guess zeitgeist isn't the right word that I'm looking for, but like that thing, that ignition happens faster because now there's so many things out there where it'll go to streaming or you have so many options and accessibility to like movies to where guys might get that second chance faster or I think sometimes it just doesn't happen still. Like I still think some guys just get that you get that one shot and it was like, here, that was your movie and sorry it didn't pan out to blow up to what it is, and then lo and behold there's people that fucking love it, or yeah. So but Big Trouble in Little China, it stars Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall, Dennis Dunn, James Hong, Victor Wong, trying to think if there's somebody else.
I think that's most of
That's
the
like
big
the big names. Yeah.
shout out Susie Pie, who is uh the fiance.
Oh yeah.
Shout out.
Marianne.
Yep. Born and raised Toledo, Ohio. Shout out.
What? Um, that is always funny. Like whenever you're like looking stuff up online, you're like, wow, this middle of the road person who no one cares about was they're from where I was born. Like I feel like
Yeah.
it hits better for me more than
What
like
up?
Toledo, Ohio, because Toledo's a bigger city. But like I grew up in a city of like I don't know 30,000 people, so like when I see a name and I'm like, what? They're from where
mean,
I'm from. It's a little dinky town. That's
to
crazy.
to be fair, I'm from the suburbs of Toledo. It's like someone from Lincoln Park being like, "Oh, they're from Detroit. I'm from Detroit." Like, nah, you're not, but it's close enough. It's
Hey,
the closest big city
Devin
you can
Booker went to
claim.
the school where I live right now, so that's kind of cool.
Hey,
I mean, do I think my kids will be basketball stars? Probably not. But
I'm gonna tell you, based on your genetics, that's a very slim possibility. They better learn to pass the ball real good.
hey, that this movie does kind of subvert your expectations, where it's kind of like they lead up front and they're like Jack Burton is a hero. He's like we're in debt to him, and then like he's kind of the main character, but really, Dennis Dunn's character is kind of the badass.
Wang is kind of the hero.
Yeah, and it's like I think the other thing is that like at this point in time, not many movies represented Asian people well. And especially like Dennis Dunn is like kind of a badass. Like Wang Chi is a badass. He's also like romantically involved with his character, and like he's not just the nerdy guy. And it's never like in a tone of being like offensive or like kind of really trying to appropriate the culture. I mean, like Jack Burton's character the whole time does not understand a fucking lick of what's going on. Like they're trying to explain it, and he's like, "Wait, what?
What?
What?"
What does this Lopan want with these women?
It's like
Need someone
Lopan
with
is
green
literally like,
eyes.
I have to marry them and kill one of them to appease my god. And he's like,
Yeah. So I can break this curse. Yeah, but what does Lopan want with these women? But why male models? Yeah, I forgot how like this movie is like Airplane in martial arts. Like I kind of forgot that it was very much like a goofy off the wall type thing. I mean, it's not as off the wall random gags and that, but
yeah,
like you kind of forget how like spoofy and comedic it kind of runs into the first thing that popped into my head, my first thought of things of like I should make a note of this is that one, I love the feeling of it being like fairy tale esque.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's almost like the Princess Bride, where the grandpa's like reading the story at the beginning and like
Yeah.
leading you into this is now the story. Egg kind of does that with telling what's going on with Jack Burton, and not to spoil too much, but even the ending where it kind of leaves on like that little kind of fairy tale cliffhanger of the monster surviving and being on the truck. But getting into it where we first meet Jack and he's just like rambling on this CB radio. I'm like, this is like the episode of The Office where they set up Creed with just a notepad and told him it was his blog. And it's just the most off the wall random shit you've ever heard.
Yeah, he says something like when you're at a hole in the wall and somebody comes up to you and then grabs you on the back of your neck, puts your head up against the barroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye and asks if you paid your dues. You just stare that big sucker right back in the eye, and you remember what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir. Checks in the mail. What are you talking about?
What is going on? You gotta imagine all the other truckers that are hearing this are just like, oh my god, can we turn this guy off? Yo, chat, can we mute this guy?
Mods, kick him out real quick.
Like, oh my god.
Well, his character is so funny, and it is humorous because I do think that is probably part of the thing that John Carpenter wanted to do was like, oh yeah, I have Kurt Russell in another movie where he is this badass like Snake Plissken, and he's going to save the day in the hardened like jail criminal New York City, and then it kind of starts to set that up, and then it's like he's basically like fucking like John Wayne. Essentially, like the delivery that he does and shit.
Yeah.
And then he's just the goofiest character where he's like kind of, I feel like he thinks he's more important than he actually is.
He's a big fan of Jack Burton.
Oh, yeah. Well, like half the time where he's like, you know what old Jack Burton says at a time like this?
Who's Jack Burton?
Me. I'm Jack Burton. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. But even then, like, I don't know. One of the things I loved about this movie was that there is the comedic element. There is the martial arts action adventure element. But then there is this underlying like romantic story between like Gracie Law and Jack Burton and even Mao Yen and Wang Chi. And it's like Gracie and Jack, though, it's like all this tension of like we never really like each other. We never really like we hate each other or whatever. And then they have that scene where they like kiss in the elevator. And then even at the end, it's like almost like Casablanca, where it's like, are you going to kiss her? No. Well, you know what they say. Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't or whatever. And it's like, what? All of this and that's it?
Yeah. And then the underlying romance of it being Margot and Eddie who aren't there the entire time.
Yeah. He's got a crush on you. Like, you have a crush on Gracie? Oh, man. Yeah. It's so campy, but it's so good.
Oh, campy can be great.
And that's what I like about John Carpenter.
You just have to let yourself enjoy it. It's like people who go back and watch like the 66 Batman and are like, ugh. Oh, it's so campy. But then you see people who are like, I went into this and just sat back and enjoyed the ride. This shit was great. It was fun. It's enjoyable. And it's like, yeah, it's deadpan comedically because for the adults, it was a comedy. For the kids, it was an action adventure show. And the writers, the actors, everybody knew it and they just played it that way.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch it now, yeah. If you go back and watch it with the understanding of like, we're making this as a kid show, but the adults are going to find this hilarious, then it's like, oh yeah, this looks like it was a blast.
Well, I think that's part of the beauty of it too, is you go in knowing like we're going to play this as serious as we should.
Yeah.
but it is not serious. Like we're aiming for a B movie, like exploitation film, and like we're not trying to make an Oscar winning movie, you know?
Yeah.
And
I think
I think that's where that beauty comes in, and the camp actually like pays off. It's like everyone knows what's going on. We're having fun. We're giving it our all. We're doing our best to make the best B movie it is, and that's where that cult status comes in. Like, was this obviously going to be a great movie? No, like when you look at it, but then when you watch it and you experience it and you have fun and you like buy into it, you're like, oh, this is fun as hell. Like,
yeah. Well, and I mean, even the effects not being, I mean, I don't know if they were at the time. I doubt it. I doubt at the time they were hailed as like anything super groundbreaking in that, but in all honesty, it kind of helps with the age of the movie because it feels even kind of older and campier than I think it's supposed to,
yeah,
and it helps with the buy-in for sure. I'll be out in San Francisco in October, so I'll have to go see if I can find that street. I have been to Chinatown in San Francisco. Although when I went, it was super late at night and super sketchy, so I didn't love it. Um, but I've like walked through it during the day, but not really gotten to go and see or explore anything. But yeah, it is cool. It's kind of neat to see how it was then with like because where Jack pulls up looks a lot more like what the wharf would be, and
mhm.
Chinatown is uh it's a hike. It is a hike from the wharf to get to Chinatown. It is somehow uphill like both ways, which makes no sense, but it's that like old grandparent adage of like I had to walk 15 miles uphill both ways. Somehow that's the case in San Francisco. You are just you're uphill no matter which way you go. Um but yeah, I will have to see if I'm out there with a couple days to spare. Go see if I can sightsee some spots from Big Trouble.
Yeah. I think the other thing that really helps sell the B movies though is the costumes in this movie are so fucking good. Like the wedding ensembles, even low pans get up. Like Jack Burton wearing the craziest fucking tank top and blue jeans, like machismo Americana outfit. Like, it's just all so good. Um, and yeah, like the wedding scene, the ensembles that people have on are just, oh man, great costuming. I feel like that's where, I mean, the budget was 19 to 25 million, so I feel like they had some pretty good costume budget. Um,
Speaking of Lopan, I everything I've ever seen James Hong in,
mhm.
automatically I think of this movie. Anytime I see him. I think we did something he was in another movie that we did for the podcast. And I remember being like, "Oh yeah,
Blade
he's
Runner.
the guy." Maybe it was Blade
And,
Runner?
well, he was in
I
Everything
feel like
Everywhere
we've done
All
a
at Once
couple.
as well. Chinatown. He was also in.
Yep.
We've done
E-
three movies with him.
every
Airplane.
every time I see him, immediately that's what I think of. It's immediately I think of, oh, yeah, James Hong. He's the guy from Big Trouble in Little China.
It's David Lopan. I feel like he just has such a like his voice is so like iconic
Yes.
where it's like whenever you see him in anything you're like, "Oh shit, James Hong."
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's got to be James Hong.
Apparently this was saying that like it was like a western where it was set in the turn of the century San Francisco. Um,
I mean, I can see that.
so it's probably oh, I forget who it was. I think it was Egg where he's telling that story on the bus. I wonder if it's kind of related to that where it was like, oh, the Chinese settlers who were interested in like the gold rush came out to San Francisco and finish building helped finish building the railroad out west, and then brought their families in over to settle this Chinatown. I wonder if it's kind of like that story, because I don't know when like Chinatown itself was actually like founded, but
I mean, I could tell you according to uh I want to say according to Victor Wong, his IMDb page, um he was born in San Francisco and lived in Chinatown near the Stockton Street Tunnel, and he was born in 1927.
okay.
So, as of 1927, it was a thing.
Fun little fact, real quick, while I'm just on this Wikipedia page, and this was kind of surprising. San Francisco's Chinatown is a major tourist attraction and drew more visitors annually than the Golden Gate Bridge. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, things that make you say, hmm.
Hmm. The one thing I think that I did always remember from this movie was the guy blowing up.
Yes.
For some reason, that anytime I think of this movie, I think of two things. It's Kurt Russell in that tank top and the guy just expanding until he explodes.
Uh,
Um, I'll be
that
honest, I didn't even remember Wang Chi as a character. Those were the two things I remembered from this movie. It's like, oh yeah, it's one with Kurt Russell wearing the weird tank top with the like rising sun or something on it, and then
yeah.
there's the guy who blows up.
Um, what I will say to that accord, the scene with the wheelchair going downhill, like when that scene started to play out, and I was like, oh yeah, I fucking love this scene because it's just like the most ridiculous, like threatening action scene. I feel like where he's like, um, so the character that you're talking about that blows up, I think it's Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Thunder.
Thunder like locks him in the cell. And they like break themselves out, and then they kind of like jump him and try to get him to stay in there while they leave. And then he kind of throws Jack Burton off onto this wheelchair that he like rides down this hill like ramp, and he hits this part of a well and like starts to tip back over the well. Jack Burton catches the wheelchair wheels and like muscles himself back over the like pendulum point or whatever. And it's just fucking ridiculous. Before the wheelchair falls back into the well and he jumps out. Uh, it's
which the wheelchair wouldn't have fallen back in if he didn't like leap out of it and
yeah.
mule kick it backwards into
yeah.
the
If he wouldn't have flopped out like a fish, it would have just
yeah,
like sat on that ledge there with
100%.
him. Yeah, but no, that I feel like that's that scene where it's like Jack Burton is a badass. Like, look at these muscles, you know. But it's it's so funny to me that after they break in, like they break in there, Wang and Jack, and they're like, "Look at us, you know, we just walked right in." Like they didn't even as they walk past like to the like lair and all that, and then get stuck in a trap. It's just so goofy. Here's to the Army and Navy and the battles they've won. Here's to America's colors that never run. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. It's
Yeah.
just such a funny movie.
Oh, it's literally it's a movie that I could definitely watch. I feel like
Many times.
many times
Yeah.
and pick up on things that I never really picked up on before.
It's one of those movies that I feel like, you know, if it's like raining outside or it's like late at night, I feel like I could throw this on and just veg out, you know? Like it's just a fun quick. It's like an hour and a half ish.
Yeah.
It's fun. There's never like a dull moment in it. It's constantly like moving to the next like thing. Um yeah, I don't know. I really have no complaints for this movie. Like Is it perfect? Am I like gonna give this a 10 out of 10? Fuck no. But like,
This movie is one of those that you have to give like this is my subjective rating and this is my
yes,
objective
yeah.
rating. Um okay, this is kind of interesting. John Carpenter originally selected Jackie Chan as the primary choice to play Wang Chi.
Okay, I can see that.
Producers opposed the casting decision due to concerns regarding the English proficiency of Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Carpenter maintained interest in securing Chan for their production following commercial and critical success of the action feature Police Story. Chan ultimately declined the professional offer to participate, and production executives finalized the contract with Dennis Dunn to occupy the role. Interesting.
Have you ever seen Police Story?
I have not.
Oh, it's so fucking good, man.
I'll be honest. I haven't seen a lot of Jackie Chan's earlier stuff. I feel like I've seen mostly like his American comedy
Yeah.
action movies more than I've seen any of the stuff he kind of made before coming over and having bigger success.
Um, Man, that one is really good. Also, I feel like that one's like the pinnacle of like, Jackie Chan does his own stunts. Like that one is like crazy large scale shit where it's like hanging off speeding buses, doing like acrobatics off of like fucking I think there's like I want to say there's one where like some shit like starts going like a thing starts going down the hill and stuff. Like it's fucking crazy. And they're doing all these crazy stunts and it's pretty impressive for what it is. I mean, he directed that movie too, Police Story. It says director John Carpenter and actor Kurt Russell state on the official audio commentary track that exceptionally positive test screenings created initial expectations for a major commercial success. 20th Century Fox minimized promotional expenditures for the theatrical release, which resulted in low box office returns. The studio schedule placed the debut 16 days prior to the high-profile release of Aliens, and subsequent home video distribution established a substantial cult following. Carpenter and Russell attribute the restricted marketing campaign to studio executives experiencing difficulties determining an effective promotional strategy for the genre-bending narrative. 20th Century Fox production executives rushed the project through post-production to compete directly with similar marketplace projects, which compressed the editing schedule to a fraction of the standard post-production timeline for a major studio release. I feel like I feel like that's the story of John Carpenter's life, though, because was it The Thing came like right next to E.T.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, we're gonna release your movie right next to the other biggest release of
Mm-hmm.
of the year that it comes out. So good luck. Oh, it didn't do well. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh, come on, man. Which sucks because like I feel like John Carpenter would have kept making shit.
Oh, 100%.
Like
Yeah.
I mean now he's just kind of I feel like he just smokes weed and does music, but like,
Yeah. I mean,
he's a big video
whatever.
game guy, I think too. Like he plays video games. And his son I think has started to like get into stuff. But
He needs to set him up with a Twitch stream.
oh my god. But like I don't know, man. He's just made so many iconic movies. In my eyes, I don't know. Like
What's
they
so
like they
crazy to
live
me,
The Thing, Halloween, Assault on Precinct 13. Like
it's it's so crazy to me the fact that the genres he's crossed through.
oh yeah,
Like it's not like he's doing, you know, oh, he directs horror movies. He's a horror movie icon. Well, no, he's done horror movies and then he's done, martial arts and he's done action and he's done this, that, and the other
he's done
thing. And I
he's
mean,
done exploitation films. He's done martial arts, sci-fi.
yeah,
I feel like he kind of got pigeonholed a little bit, but I think he also likes making those types of movies too.
yeah.
Which
Oh,
isn't.
I
I
I
mean,
think so.
I think there's a lot
But
of guys who that's kind of what they enjoy. I mean, if you look at like Ari Aster or like uh what's the guy that fucking I think he's kind of branching out a little bit more, but Robert Eggers. A lot of his stuff is definitely his early stuff is horror, but like I don't know. I think it's good though to have people who want to make horror movies like Jordan Peele and
Yeah,
stuff. It's like please give me some merit to this genre. Please don't just stick me with the people who are making
yeah.
slasher movies and stuff, please. This weekend, Backrooms comes out, and I'm so excited for that. I really want to see it. All I've seen is this kid, like the director's like 20 years old. And all I've seen is like, did he actually direct a movie? Like, was there like a ghost director on set? And then like I saw an interview with him, and he's like, I really fucking love Portals, like Portal the video game, and Portal 2, and like that idea of like the world of Portal, like helped me create the Backrooms and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this fucking dude knows ball. I'm in. Fucking love Portal. He's fucking sold me on this shit. Like
All right.
somebody's never played the Portal games, I can tell.
Is that what you think?
I do. I do think you've never played Portal games, man.
You're lucky we don't have the time right now. I would go literally pull it out. I know exactly where the fucking case is for Portal
Wow.
2. 2. I don't know. I have the first one. I just don't know where the case is.
I think the first one's free on Steam still.
I mean, the first one I have on the set it's Portal and what's
Oh.
the other one that's with it? It was 2 games and I can't
What's
remember
it?
the
Team
other.
Fortress 2 or something?
No, it was the other Valve game that was really popular.
um Half-Life?
Yes, that's it.
Oh man, Half-Life's another good one. Surprised we never got a video game of that.
What? We did.
We did?
Half Life?
There was a Half-Life movie?
You didn't say movie. You said video
Oh,
game.
sorry.
I'm surprised there was never a video game of that. I'm like, fuck do you think we're talking about right now?
Sorry.
Everybody on the pod getting tipsy. I don't have much to add. If you want to just dive into reviews, we can.
Great segue. You want to start with me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, wow. Going into this one, I didn't really have a rating. If I had to like have a nostalgia rating off the top of my head, I'd probably say like a 6. Um, like I remember enjoying it, but I didn't remember much about it. I just kind of remembered, like Ben said, the guy blowing up, some of the like action, kung fu, martial arts, um, like battles that happened throughout the movie, but I didn't really remember any details. Um, but upon a rewatch, I loved this movie. I mean, like I've said, I've professed my love for John Carpenter um, already all over this thing. But John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors. Even the movies that are a little too campy or aren't well loved still bring me a lot of joy. And this movie, like we said, it's campy, but it's campy in the sense of like almost like Steven Spielberg campy, where it's like you accept it and it's really good. It's not over the top and like, okay, this is way too fucking cheesy. Like it's just a slight little seasoning of cheese that's it really adds to that B movie aspect that I enjoy about the movie. And like we said, people are going in. I think John Carpenter and everyone kind of understood, like, we're kind of making like a martial arts movie that's gonna be campy. It's gonna be a B movie, um, and I think everyone understood the assignment. Jack Burton, Kurt Russell's character is this like, I'm a super machismo guy, and this is what old Jackie says, and he's like, he's he's a satire on it on himself essentially. and it really subverts what you expect going into the movie and what they set up in the first like 10 minutes. And then it completely flips that on your head as soon as shit starts to go down. Jack's the bumbling idiot. He's the goofball. He's, you know, oh, there's this big battle happening, and he has his gun, or I forget what he does, but he like shoots the
He
ceiling above.
shoots the gun up in the air, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
and it
knocks a rock
hits
loose and
hits him
knocks
on the
himself
head, and he knocks out.
unconscious.
Yeah, and he wakes up like the end of the battle. Or like there's the one where they're in like the storeroom or whatever, and he like ducks around to pick something up, and Wang Chi beats everyone by the time he turns around. They're like, all right, time to go, Jack. It's so funny in that sense, but at the same time, it's like pretty thrilling, pretty actiony, where you're like, ooh, who's gonna win this battle, or like, what's going on. Like, there's some good. Um, I mean, the other back to the like campy cheese. The other one is like, I think is it Rain? The other guy, is it Thunder, Lightning, and Rain?
Yeah,
Rain is fighting Wang, and they're like doing the like jumps across from each other and stuff, and
yeah,
like classic martial arts movie move that is so like cheesy campy, but they like lean into it in this movie and like really go into it. And I'm like, oh, it's so good. I highly recommend this movie. Leaving, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I love this one. 8 out of 10, I feel like is where I'm at, and it's not necessarily like this movie is that good. Like, oh my gosh, but it's just a fun experience. And like Ben said, it's one that I can go back to and be like, I can sit down and watch this whole thing again. Like, I might go finish it again tonight because I'm already 30 minutes in, and it's like it's just fun. Like you get into like the actual story bits of it once like the plot is kind of like laid out to you, and it's like you're along for the ride at that point. Like you're in too deep, like Jack and Wang, and now you got to battle your way out of the out of Lopan's fucking fortress.
yeah. I'm gonna echo a lot of the same things. Where especially one, I rewatching this movie, there were almost everything. I was like, I don't remember this. I don't remember this. So I'm not even gonna give it a nostalgia rating. I'm just gonna go into it fresh. Um, but I think I would agree with you on an 8. So it's a subjective 8. Objectively, do you need to watch this movie? Like, no, it's not it's not some hidden Oscar gem that, the performances are absolutely enthralling and you need to see, but it's summer, and if you just want a nice popcorn flick fun movie to turn on, this is a good one to watch. Especially, I'll be honest, I think like in a couple years when my son's like 8, I think this would be one that I could be like, yeah, you could watch this and like just watch and enjoy and have fun. Like it's not uh for being PG-13, it's not like over the top anything crazy, which, for an 80s PG-13 gets kind of,
Yeah,
you can toe the line.
kind
You can toe the line on an
of
80s
surprised
PG-13.
on that one.
Um but yeah, I mean there's not really a ton that's, I mean even language or anything super crazy with. So yeah, I think this movie's just fun. It reminds me of and I know I feel like I had this conversation with someone recently. Um it reminds me of the feeling of going to a video. This is a movie you would get at a video store
Oh yeah.
growing up. This was like you don't really know what you're getting, but like the cover looks cool,
I
so
was gonna say like the cover for this thing
your
is
cover looks
crazy.
cool, so you're gonna rent it, and your dad's gonna be like, he's maybe seen it, and he's like, yeah, okay, you can rent that, like that's fine. And then you take it home and you watch it, and you're just like, this is the greatest thing ever. And it's fun, it's funny. The main character is a goof, but he still somehow always wins.
Yeah.
It's a blast. It's a fun movie. It reminds me in the vein of like a Top Gun, where it's like, is it a great movie? No, not really. But it's short. It's fun. I could turn it on a night if I'm just wanted something to watch. I could pop it on, and I don't think I'd be disappointed that this was the movie I picked. And I think for me that qualifies it to be at least at an 8.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate and subscribe. Share us with your friends and family. Check out next week. I think the plan is to do In the Mouth of Madness, a much later John Carpenter film, and back into his horror roots. But share us with your friends and family. I just said that a fucking second ago. I'm a dumbass. But if you if you like this episode, check out some of our other ones. We've done quite a few John Carpenter films that we talked about. Definitely check out those movies or those episodes of our podcast. You can also check out the movies, I guess, too. But as always, watch responsibly.